Today we're diving into a pretty stark warning about AI. Yeah, a warning that's got a lot of people talking. It comes from Anthropic, an AI company that's actually known for its work on AI safety. And they're saying we only have 18 months, just 18 months, to get AI regulation right. Or we could face potential catastrophe. Now I know what you're thinking, another AI doomsday scenario. But hold on. Anthropic isn't some fringe group predicting a robot apocalypse. These guys are right in the thick of AI development. They're seeing how fast things are moving. So when they sound the alarm, it's worth paying attention. So what's got them so worried? Well, it boils down to three main areas where AI is advancing way faster than anyone expected. Coding, cyber offense, and scientific understanding. Let's start with the coding part. Anthropic's own AI model, Claude. It went from solving just 2% of real-world coding problems to a whopping 49% in just 1 year. Think about that. That kind of exponential leap in capability has huge implications for how AI could be used, both good and bad. Now, on the cyber offense side, Anthropic has this team. It's called the Frontier Red Team. Their whole focus is on identifying AI risks. And they found that AI models can already help with a whole bunch of tasks. Tasks that could be used for some pretty malicious stuff. Things like scanning code for vulnerabilities, crafting phishing emails, even developing new hacking tools. And as these AI models get even better at planning and carrying out those multi-step tasks, the potential for really sophisticated cyber attacks becomes very real. Then there's the issue of AI's scientific knowledge. It's expanding so rapidly. AI systems are now reaching near expert human levels on these benchmark tests in all kinds of scientific fields, which means they could potentially be used to design new chemical weapons, engineer deadly viruses, or even figure out how to make existing weapons of mass destruction even more dangerous. So what does Anthropic think we should do about all of this? Well, they're calling for targeted AI regulations, and they want them in place within the next 18 months. Specifically, they're urging the U.S. federal government to take the lead. But here's the thing. They're not saying we should stifle innovation or stop AI research altogether. What they want is a balanced approach, one that focuses on three key principles: transparency, incentivizing security, and simplicity and focus. Let's break those down a bit. First up, transparency. Anthropic argues that AI companies should have to publicly disclose their safety policies, their risk assessments, and the safeguards they have in place to prevent misuse. That way, there's more scrutiny and accountability, which helps make sure that AI development is happening responsibly. Second, incentivizing security. Governments need to create incentives for AI companies to make security a top priority in their development processes. This could mean setting clear standards for AI safety, offering rewards or recognition to companies that go above and beyond those standards, things like that. And finally, simplicity and focus. Anthropic is warning against regulations that are too complex or burdensome, because those could actually stifle innovation without really addressing the core risks. They believe the most effective regulations will be clear and concise, and adaptable to the ever-changing nature of AI technology. Makes sense, right? So you might be thinking, can governments really move that fast? It's a fair question. Bureaucracy is not exactly known for its speed, especially when we're talking about something as complex as AI regulation. But Anthropic says the potential consequences of doing nothing are just too big to ignore. We're not talking about some far-off robot uprising here. The risks they're outlining are things that could happen right now. Sophisticated cyber attacks, AI-powered disinformation campaigns, the potential for bad actors to misuse scientific knowledge. These are all real dangers, things that could have a devastating impact on the world. And here's where things get even more interesting. Anthropic isn't just calling on governments to act. They're also encouraging other AI companies to step up and take responsibility. They're suggesting something called responsible scaling policies. Think of these as frameworks that evolve right alongside AI capabilities. So as AI models get more powerful, the safety protocols that govern their development and use those should adapt too. And why are these responsible scaling policies so important? Because even if we don't have comprehensive government regulations, yet AI companies can still choose to make safety a priority. And by implementing these policies, they can build trust with the public, show that they're committed to ethical AI development, and maybe even influence how AI regulation evolves in the future. But let's zoom out for a second and look at the bigger picture here. Anthropic's warning raises a really fundamental question about the relationship between technology and society. Can our institutions keep up with these exponential advancements in AI? Our institutions were designed for a world that moved much slower. And what role should individuals like you and me play in shaping this future? It's easy to feel kind of powerless when you see technology changing so fast. But the truth is we all have a stake in this. The choices we make today as consumers, as citizens, as members of the global community, they all have an impact on the future of AI. So what can we do? Well, first and foremost, stay informed. The more we understand about AI, its potential, its risks, the better equipped we'll be to make good decisions. We need to talk about AI ethics, AI regulation, and we need to support the research and development efforts that are focused on AI safety. Let's encourage the development of AI applications that address real-world problems, things that make a positive impact on humanity. Anthropic's warning isn't about being afraid of AI and giving up on it. It's a call to action. It's a reminder that we have a responsibility to shape this technology in a way that benefits all of us. We need to make sure that AI remains a tool for progress, a force for good in the world. And that starts with recognizing that we're not just passive observers. The future of AI is something we actively create. That 18-month deadline that Anthropic's laid out, it's a real wake-up call. It makes you realize the future is closer than we think. They're not saying, okay, on this date that AI apocalypse is going to happen. It's more like a, hey, we need to act now kind of thing. We're at a crossroads. And what we do now will have a huge impact on where AI goes and what role it plays in our lives. I mean, no one can deny the potential benefits of AI are enormous, right? Revolutionizing healthcare. Tackling climate change can help us solve some of humanity's biggest problems. But like Anthropic is saying, that potential for good comes with the potential for real harm. So the question isn't, should we develop AI? It's how can we develop it responsibly? And, I think Anthropic's call for transparency and security and for simple regulations that can adapt as AI changes, that's a really good starting point. But when you get down to it, it's all about values. What kind of future do we want with AI? One where it helps us, or one where it gets out of control. Anthropic has really kicked off a vital conversation, and it's one we all need to be part of. It's not just up to governments and tech companies, it's up to all of us. The choices we make, the things we talk about, the actions we take, they're all going to shape the world of tomorrow. So let's make good choices. Let's work together to make sure AI is a force for good. A tool that helps us build a brighter future for everyone.